Hey guys, car waiting to go to the airport to pick up my family. So while I'm driving around, I was actually listening to the Periscope that my teammate caught me in earlier when I was on a call. And honestly, the call went a totally different way than I had planned. And I was listening to it and I said, you know what, that went in the wrong direction. My response was based on my expectation and it wasn't the right response. So I said, I need to apologize publicly, because if you're going to do this stuff on Periscope, live, right, uncensored, raw, uncut, if there's something that may not necessarily go as planned, you got to address it. So I want to address it because I did not want to put the young lady on blast, and I think I handled that wrong. And the reason why is, if somebody is in a position financially where they're not ready, I can't control that. I can give them what they need and say, hey, you know what, meet me in 2 weeks. Now, I did say that, but I think the way in tone in which I said it was absolutely wrong and probably embarrassing, right? And so I don't want to embarrass people. I never want to force people to be ready when I'm ready. It requires for me to be responsible to say, you know what, I apologize to you, ma'am. I should not have said it that way. I should have been accepting of where you are and accommodating to when you're ready. Not, you know, you can't work with me if you're not ready now. That's not what I was saying. And so I just had to make sure I corrected that. Some of you have been watching, and yeah, it was great coaching. On the front end, you guys saw how I actually work with people when I am talking about the business. And guys, this is not about sales for me. Please understand. Yeah, I'm a businesswoman and I believe in generating income, but I believe in impacting lives. And one of the things that I have to do as someone who believes in being a people builder is I challenge people to step up to where they say they want to be. If you come to me and say you want mentoring and coaching, I'm going to coach you. I'm not here to be a friend. I'm here to help you get to where you want to go. And so I apologized to her publicly. I actually was trying to call her back and now she won't answer my call. And I don't ever want people to feel like being rude or mean is the way to build your business. And I think it came across as kind of rude. I listened to it. I was like, that was rude, Nick. That wasn't professional. It wasn't professional. And it's because in my mind, she said she was ready, and I assumed that she was ready. And when she backtracked, I don't know if I scared her, because sometimes we do scare. Like people tell me my tone can be scary sometimes because I'm very passionate, right? And so I'm working on that. But I want you guys to get a live illustration that when you are wrong, you got to own it, right? You got to step up to it and be willing to say, just as much as you might think I'm amazing, I'm just as much as I make mistakes, right? And so I really do. I've rewatched it a couple times and I was like, yeah, that went the wrong way. I should not have handled it that way, because the young lady is hungry and her position is what it is, right? And I do believe, I do believe wholeheartedly in what I said, that if you really want change, you guys, I understand this about money. And this is just because of where I've been in my life about money, is that a lot of times we attach ourselves to our reality and not our vision. And I tell people, make your vision your reality and your reality your illusion. And what that means is that never begin to accept where you are for what you are deserving of. But guys, there are ways to manifest money in your life. There's so many things that I can, so many ways that I can go in this direction. But you can manifest money in your life when you say you are ready for something. The opportunity will present itself where you don't, sorry, call came in. You don't have to put it on hold where you're waiting for your circumstances to meet up with what you desire. But instead, you allow your desires to demand that your circumstances meet up to where you are. And one of the things that I've learned about money, guys, is many of us value ourselves based on what our bank account says. But I'm gonna be honest, it's not until you begin to understand that you are worthy and deserving, and if you are willing to begin to confess and declare that, listen, money has to come my way, opportunities will continue to be open in my honor, I will never have to delay my destiny because of my circumstances, my vision is my reality, I am in a position to receive, I am in a position to grow, I'm in a position to blossom, and finances will never be an issue a day in my life, regardless of what my bank account says. I am a millionaire. I will continue to manifest, and money will continue to find me. endlessly and continuously. You have to begin to say affirmations and do things to manifest it in their life. And honestly, guys, a lot of people can't handle when we challenge them in that area financially, because financially a lot of us are embarrassed, right? We look at our life and our circumstances and we believe that our finances create our value. Let me tell y'all something right now. Don't you ever let your financial situation dictate how much you are worth. You are the kid of a king. You were born with a purpose. The Bible says, before you were even in your mother's womb, I knew you. And what that means is God placed you on this earth for an assignment. And when God gives you an assignment, he will fund the way. I used to tell people, when it is God's will, it is God's bill. I will never be withheld because of a financial reality. I'm always going to be in position for my financial destiny, which means that my vision, my destiny will become my reality. And I will never be delayed because of finances. Never, ever. Why? Because if somebody got to show up and pull out their credit card on my behalf for me to get what it is that I need to get, it's always going to show up in my life. I will never allow money to dictate who I was born to be and what I was born to do. And I will never let finances compromise my destiny. So when I'm speaking these things, I'm challenging everybody if you are ever in my presence, I will not allow you to be mediocre. I will not allow you to be average. I will not allow you to give me excuses as to why you can't live your greatness. I will not allow you to settle for your current reality. I will always challenge you to grow. I will always push you to blossom. I will always declare that you make your destiny your reality and make your reality an illusion so that you can begin to do what it is that you were born to do. And so that's why I speak the way I speak. That's why I'm passionate. That's why I say the things that I say. Because listen, Total Life Changes is a platform for me to be a vessel that God uses to help you get to where you need to go and grow in life. This business, these products, this opportunity, guys, is in alignment with our destiny for such a time as this. God gave us this platform that if you are financially strapped, this is the gateway. That if you are broken and lonely, you got the community. That if you are hungry for success, you now have the access to the people that'll help take you there. That if you do want to be in a position to change your circumstances, that you have the people that will show you how to manifest it. If you don't want your children to go through the same struggle you went through, now you have the vehicle to be able to change and break those generational curses in your life. Yes, that is why I'm passionate about TLC. That's why I love the fact that our company is called Total Life Changes. That's why I love the fact that God made me lose my ego, died in my ego, put me in this atmosphere, in this environment to be a vessel used to impact and speak into the lives of the people without compromise, without shame, without guilt, without worrying about what all the people would say and think about me when I made this decision after all my years of saying I would never do network marketing again. But yes, I got into network marketing. You see, that's because I know that me being in this place right here, right now, is called destiny. It is called an assignment. It is me doing the things that God has ordained, predestined before I was ever born so that I can have access to you. It is not ironic that we got into TLC and all of a sudden we have something called Periscope where we can do live feeds and begin to speak to you immediately, give you a live stream to speak into your life, because it is about such a time as this, about you getting what you need to access what you need to access, to go where you need to go, to grow the way that you need to grow, to blossom, and to begin to be in an environment and a community that will put you in a position to realize who you really are. You see, guys, I don't play games with where I'm at in my life. And sometimes people cannot handle that about me. But one thing that I said I will never be is apologetic. I believe in being bold and unapologetic to create the level of success in my life that I can inspire you to want to do more in your life so that you can truly tap in to who you were born to be. Now, does that mean I'm always right? Absolutely not. Does that mean that I do things wrong sometimes? Oh yeah, that call that I just did, I handled that totally the wrong way. And I totally apologize publicly to that young lady because I did not want to embarrass anybody. This is designed for me to be here to speak life into you, not to kill and discourage you. And so I want to apologize publicly, but I want all of you guys to understand that what I am doing here in this business is not about another recruit. I'm not just a top recruiter. You see, the reason why I got the top recruiter platform is because I always say business is my ministry and I am here to build people. And that means that I'm a top recruiter because God has given me and entrusted me with an audience of people to raise up and build up as leaders that they can identify and access who they were born to be in Him. So the reason why I've been blessed to be able to be a top recruiter in this company and recruited nearly 200,000 people in this business is because I'm not really here to recruit. I'm here to impact. I'm here to build up. I'm here to raise leaders. I'm here to help people access their destiny. I'm not here to just teach people how to build a business and how to sell some tea or some product. I'm here to help people identify who God raised you, called you, and predestined you to be. And now we have a platform called business because now we're not going to just talk about who you are. Now I'm going to show you what it takes for you to become who you are, which means challenging you, getting you out of your excuses, requiring that you are no longer operating from a spirit of mediocrity, but operating from a spirit of excellence, tapping into your greatness, being positioned to tap into something that you never knew you had possible, creating a great level of work ethic, learning the power of communication, seeking to not just be a selfish person for your own gain, but beginning to seek out that you may impact the lives of other people. And now I want to help become a leader of leaders, that you too can do the exact same thing for other people. So when you see me being very passionate, I am so honored that God allowed me to be a vessel used for where I am. But I will tell you guys, this has been 19 years of working on what God has called me and assigned me to do, that I am in this position right now to be able to impact the lives that I am impacting. However, I have to be very, very responsible with this mantle that God has given me. And that means that if I make a mistake, I must confess publicly, so that too can be a teachable moment. This is not about us thinking that we got it all together. It is about us understanding that God is using us, and we have to make sure that we don't abuse what God gives us. And so that's why I'm coming to tell you guys publicly, yes, I made a mistake. It was wrong how I handled that call at the end. Yes, I did a great call in the beginning, but I should have handled it differently towards the end. I am never in a position to embarrass or abuse or belittle or dismantle anybody in business, but it is to edify, esteem, exhort, raise, and empower other people. So if I make a mistake, you better believe I'm going to come and be as bold about me confessing the error of my ways as I am about confessing the greatness of my destiny that God has entrusted me. So I want you guys to understand this. It's never about you putting on airs about what you are so great at. It's about you acknowledging the fact that God has placed you in this world for such a time as this, to be a vessel, to be transparent, that you can inspire others to be who they were born to be and impact others in such a way that your transparency begins to be a teacher. You see, it can be real easy for me to hold that out and say, you know what, I didn't mess up. That she should have did what she needed to do. No. Because if God has entrusted me where people believe in me enough, where they reach out and come to me, I have to be responsible with and gentle in that relationship and handle people with care and love, that they don't ever feel like they made a mistake by believing in the communication and the access in this potential relationship that we can have together. So I wanted to take this time out, guys, to be very honest with you, to get you guys to understand what this is all about. Guys, this is so much bigger than having public success. This is about not just having public success, but having private success. This is about being an example in all shapes and fashions. Yes, it's great to be a good example, but it's also good to understand that even as a good example, you can make poor decisions, and letting you guys know that in my poor decisions, I will own up to that, because even in that, it's a teachable moment. So I want you guys to understand, listen, there are times where your boldness might have you go overboard on some things in your passion and how you say things, how you do things, and how you approach things, because I'm very, very passionate, right? But I also have to be mindful that not everyone understands the way in which this passion is being conveyed. And just as easy as these words can build someone up, sometimes, not intentionally, it can tear them down. So if I'm ever in a position where I feel like I'm making a mistake and I'm hurting someone, and I didn't realize it at the time, it's okay. You know what? Hey, when you are moving quickly and making things happen quickly, sometimes you do some things and then you look back and say, I could have did that differently. But I'm not going to regret. I'm going to say, in my action, in my effort, in being passionate to help the young lady identify, sweetheart, listen, you don't have to put your goals on hold because your financial circumstances say you can't. I need you to declare and decree and be willing to do the work to manifest that money right now, because you ain't got to wait 2 weeks to get the money. You can go out here right now. I clean my house, I pay my cleaner lady $120 every time she come to my house. If you can go find somebody and say, you know what, I know you are busy, you may not have the time to do something, but if there's any way that I can serve you and you can impact, you can just sow into my life, I'm willing to come clean your house. I'm willing to come watch your kids. I'm willing to come run your errands. I'm willing to come help organize your garage, help organize your closet, help you put some clothes together. See, y'all, let me tell y'all something. Some of y'all want to wait for God to bless you, but you don't want to get out here and be humble enough to do the work that God is asking you to, that will prove to him that you are willing to do whatever it takes that he has in store for you. You want to sit around and wait and find excuses and blame and say what's not available. But I just gave a story today on when we were streaming earlier, about when me and my husband came here to Atlanta after we had lost everything, broke, bankrupt, foreclosed, repossession, homeless, and on welfare, and pregnant. I saw an opportunity on the internet to learn how to build a business. I didn't have no money. I didn't have nothing but $200 coming in a month. We were sleeping in a spare bedroom of some good friends on a pull-out couch. We owned absolutely nothing. Our car that was parked in front of the house was on alert for repossession. At any given moment, we could have been carless. And there was a ton of stuff going on in my life. But you know what? I said my circumstances do not define me, regardless of how demoralizing it was standing in the welfare office and having them ask me all these belittling questions. I looked into the eyes of the caseworker at the welfare office, and I said, in my mind, my circumstances do not define my destiny. I don't care what my bank account look like. Yes, I'm in a negative. I'm in a triple, quadruple negative, to the point where the bank would never let me open up an account again because I was so far in the red. I could never get any trade lines because my credit score was in the 400s. Everything about my circumstances looked bleak. But all I could say to myself is my circumstances do not define me. I'm gonna find a way to make this happen. And ladies and gentlemen, I Googled on the internet. I searched high and low, because why? I knew that I was greater than my circumstances. I knew that God did not allow me to come on this earth to live in poverty. Why? Because he created the entire world. Why would he allow his child to suffer financially because of what we consider to be a lack of finances on the earth? I knew in my heart, no way, no how, there's no way ever that God would give me birth on this earth to suffer. He put me here for a destiny. So I got to believe in my heart, regardless of my circumstances, that things were going to unveil in the way in which it had to support my destiny. It had to make money show up in my life. It had to accommodate the coaches in my life who may not have known who I was, but when they looked me in the eyes, they saw fire in my soul and said, I'm going to invest in this young lady. And ladies and gentlemen, that's when I discovered a young lady by the name of Tracy Walker. That's when I saw this young lady all over the internet. That's when there was a connection made, and I said, I got to get to know this sister. That's when she gave me a glimpse of who I was supposed to be. That's when I said, whatever it is that she's selling, I'm going to buy it. That's when I said, I may not have no money, but I'm going to get a loan from somebody to make it happen. That's when I called my daddy and said, Daddy, I think I found a way to get out of this situation, but if I'm going to ask you to sponsor me. That's when my dad gave me a credit card and said, Nick, no matter what it takes, you go ahead and charge my credit card and you do what you got to do to build your business. That's when I said, I'm going to stay up all night. I don't get no sleep. I'm going to study everything on the internet. I'm going to read every book, attend every webinar. And I'm going to buy whatever my money and budget can buy me, but I'm going to master this internet thing. And that's when my whole life changed. That's when my husband got a job. That's when he was able to get his first paycheck to get us our first apartment. That although we didn't have money for furniture and people donated furniture, and we were eating breakfast on a card table and sitting on a couch whose legs were broken and sleeping on an air mattress. And when we gave birth to our daughter, couldn't afford a bed, and she slept into a pack and play until she was 18 months old, and our house was scarce. We slept on the floor for an entire year and a half before we were finally able to come up with the money to be able to get a mattress. That's when I said, I don't care what my circumstances look like. I am going to tap into identifying the next skill that I needed to have so that I can truly get back on my feet by my value that I can create to attract and manifest success in my life. And that's when our life turned around. That's when Artists International showed up in my life. When Jennifer Enders, one of my best friends, my sisters, my accountability partner, somebody that will be by my side for the rest of my life, called me and told me, you know what, Nick, I see opportunity for you to really leverage this thing, and I know that you can do it. And I told her, Jennifer, you know what, I would love to do it, but I don't have the money. And Jennifer said, you know what, Nicole, I'm about to get my income tax check. It costs $500. I believe that you have what it takes to get to the next level. I'm going to sow this seed in your life, and I'm going to pay for you to get into this company. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Jennifer Enders gave up $500 from her income taxes to invest in me to get into that previous business when I was broke, but I was at home on the internet, mastering the skill of internet marketing. And I told Jennifer, I said, I'm not going to disappoint you. I'm going to get into this business, and I promise you I'm going to pay you back. And I got into this business. And remember, I told you I borrowed that money from my dad, began to learn the stuff about internet marketing, began to invest all this energy into learning, never slept. When I had my daughter, I would nurse. I couldn't nurse much, but I would get up with her when she woke up. When I put her down for a nap, I would stay up. That's when I created the mantra, I don't take sleep. I don't go to sleep. I take naps. And I would take 1-hour naps, 30-minute naps, and hop back up and be up all hours of the night studying and relentlessly laboring and saying, I got to learn this internet thing because I believe this is the gateway to get me back on my feet. And little did I know that when Jennifer Enders sowed that seed into my life to allow me to become a part of Artists International, that my first paycheck would be $1,500 because I put to work all those internet marketing skills that I had learned for the past 18 months. My first check was $1,500. My second check was $3,800. Ladies and gentlemen, my third check was $12,000. And my fourth check was $21,000. You're talking in a period of 4 months, I went from having to borrow $500 to making over $21,000 in my fourth month. And that's when I knew that all that money, all that time that I invested, even though I didn't have the money, had to manifest in my life because I told God, I showed God that no matter what it costs, I'm going to put forth all my energy and effort into manifesting this thing in my life. And I don't care what it takes me. No sleep, no social life. I didn't have a car because by this time, one of our cars was repoed. The other one was about to get repoed. And we had to go get a car loan from CarMax and get a car, a Chrysler. I never remember the name of that car because I knew it was not for us for long term. It was for short term. I can't tell you what it was called, like a Plymouth or something, a Pacifica. We went to CarMax and got a car for 28% interest because we couldn't afford to move forward. We paid our rent money to get that car so that we can be able to have extra transportation because our cars was getting repo. But let me tell you something. When we stepped out on faith, although we got that car at 28% interest and spent our rent money to put the down payment down and get that car, the truck that they were supposed to come repo, they never came and repoed. And to this day, I still got that truck, and my husband was able to have a car to get back and forth and work, and I was able to have a car to get my daughter back and forth to the daycare so that I can get to work and begin to focus on what I needed to build my business. And it was that gateway in Artists International that helped me build a brand in internet marketing. It was that opportunity that allowed me to pay for my first professional photo shoot, where I went from this broken, bankrupt, foreclosed, repossession chick that everybody had laughed at because I was a superstar real estate agent before that, to be able to invest now in a professional photo shoot to show people that, you know what, I had an attack, but guess what, I'm back. I got back into getting into realizing who I was, but now my circumstances began to reflect that because I had the diligence, the commitment, the devotion to do what was required of me behind the scenes before anybody can get to see me on the scenes. I put the work in behind the scenes. I began to confess things to myself behind the scenes. I began to tell myself that you are worthy behind the scenes before anybody could applaud me or award me or give me a brand, give me a big name on social media. Nobody knew my name when I was behind the scenes doing what was required of me. Nobody knew my name when I was not sleeping and no money, but I had to borrow money from my dad to get out there to do whatever was required of me. Nobody knew my name when I was on webinar after webinar after webinar, reading ebook after ebook after ebook, getting on training after training after training, learning all this stuff. Yeah, y'all know my name now. Why? Because I spent 18 months, no income, devoted, committed, and serving my way to learning this stuff. Then finally somebody gave me a job and said, hey, I know you know this internet marketing stuff. Can you help me with social media? You got that right. I sure can. Hey, I know you're familiar with that blogging stuff. Can you help me with my blog? I sure can. Hey, I know you're a good writer. You be writing blog posts. Can you write my posts? I sure can. I never said no to anything. I became a blog post. This is before I even got into artists in that 18-month window, the way that I made money. I studied all this stuff on the internet and I wasn't making nothing but $15 online. I was making $15 online. Then it went up to $75. But in order for me to make money, I said, hey, I can't do nothing with this information right now because nobody knows me. I'm not selling anything on the internet. But guess what? I can serve somebody else with this information and I can begin to do it on their behalf in their favor. You see, that's when I became a social media marketer. I became a blog developer. I became an article writer. I became anything anybody needed me to become. If you needed me to come wash your feet, I would come wash your feet. A gentleman reached out to me and said, Nicole, would you write my book? I had never written a book before, but I did not tell him no. Yes, I can write your book. What do you want me to write your book about? I promise you guys, this man gave me one line. He said, I want the book to be about it must believe. You must believe. I said, well, Mr. Hughes, what else do you want me to write in the book? He said, Nicole, that's the title. I want you to write a full book on a title called You Must Believe. And I said, well, Mr. Hughes, are you going to give me any more information? He said, no. I want you to take that title and turn it into a book. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2 months, I wrote that man's book. In 2 months, I got the book cover done. I got the publishing done. I got the editing done. I got everything done. And he paid me to sustain me. But I took my gifts and put it into his life. It wasn't my time yet to be on the scenes, to have a brand, to have a name, to showcase who I was. It was my season to serve. I was learning that information to serve somebody else. See, some of y'all are so caught up in trying to be a superstar overnight. You want to be a reality show buff, but you don't want to get in position to become a servant. You will not be able to be first if you don't know how to be last. You will not. You can't get out here and think everybody's just going to accommodate what you want because you want it. You got to put yourself in position to be able to prove that you are so committed to doing what it takes that you get out here and you serve your way to the top. You see, there's so much stuff that people come at me and say that they want. And that's why I'm passionate with no excuses, because I lost it all. I had nothing. I was broke. I was homeless. I was lost. I didn't know what to do with myself. But I made a decision that my circumstances don't define me, and I would never have any excuses. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. You know, many of you get on the phone and you tell people your story because you want them to feel sorry for you. I'm going to be honest with you. I never got on the phone in that season. Why? Because I refused to get on the phone and tell people about how bad I felt. I refused to complain. I used to say to myself, why do I need to talk to somebody in this season? I'm not going to sit here and complain about my circumstances. I need to get to a place in my life where I change my circumstances. Then I'll talk to you. So no, I'm not going to get on the phone with you in my life. Guess what? I'll call you when things are going well, because in this season, things don't look too hot for me to have a conversation about it. And I'm not going to get on the phone and begin to complain. I'm going to get on the phone and begin to when I'm beginning to shout and share my story about how God took my situation and turned things around. And that's exactly what he did. He allowed that story of how I went broke, bankrupt, foreclosed, repossession, on pregnant and on welfare to become the storyline that made me my $1 million. Yes, you heard me correctly. That storyline, all the pain that I went through, all the hell that we went through, all storyline for me to be able to make my first $1 million online. And that, my friends, is why you see I don't play games. I don't accept excuses. I don't accept mediocrity. That when you come into my presence, your conversation has got to change. You can't tell me I don't understand your circumstances. Why? Because I've been there. I've done that. And guess what? I got beyond that. And I'm going to challenge you to do the same thing, because the same God that did it for me, he can do it for you. But you got to stop lying to yourself and stop settling for what everything is happening in your life and get off your behind. Stop being so gosh darn lazy and get out here and serve somebody. You got to serve your way to the top. I did a call last Thursday and I'm gonna finish part 2 on this Thursday. Last Thursday was about you need to invest in the access of the people that's gonna take you to where you need to go, because you're one relationship away from becoming who you were born to be. But you got to pay your way there. If you don't have the money, you better serve your way there. I have people in my circle right now, the 2 girls that are staying with me in this house, Trinity and J. Dean. Why are they on my side? No, they're not sitting here paying me all this money. I don't make a lot of money off of them in my business, but guess what? They served their way into my life. Trinity opened up her doors for our mastermind. She came up here with us in Atlanta. Coach, you need me to do anything? I had her running errands to pick up gifts for people, and I had her running around to help find stuff for our team and doing all this stuff. And guess what? She would put her own money up and say, Coach, pay me later. I got you. J. Dean, Nick, whatever you need me to do, I'll serve. I'll do your makeup. I'll do your hair. You need somewhere to stay? Come on into my hotel room. You need me to help you with anything? Let me find you a house. All just there to serve. It's not about them catering to me. It's about them seeing the value in this relationship that, hey, I may not be able to give you money in this relationship, and they can, but they said, I'd rather serve you so that I can help you be who you were born to be, because by my being around you, you help me become who I need to become. And that's exactly what it has become. My little sisters that I'm investing in their lives, and I am sowing into their lives because I see their greatness. So I want y'all to understand this. I gotta go. I'm at the airport. This was supposed to be an apology message, but on top of that, hey, I hope y'all got more than that. And to the young lady who I did that with on the call, I sincerely apologize. My goal is to help you realize who you are. Don't you ever let money be a delay in your progress, honey. God put you on this earth because you got a mission to accomplish. And no, being around me, I will not allow you to accept the fact that you can't afford it, because you are way beyond worth it. And I want you to begin to speak that over your life, that you can manifest it. And that goes to all of you guys too. Stop settling for excuses. You got to know who God is and understand his power. And you got to stop giving all these other reasons why you can't be who you were born to be, and begin. God says, begin to call on him. Call on him, test him, and see that he is good. Test him. Tell God, look, you God, I need you to help me to believe that you truly have put me here for a purpose. That's what I used to do. God, you put me on this earth. You said you got a purpose for me. I need you to show me. Show me. And little did I know, he would unveil all the stuff that he did in my life. So anyway, y'all, people are texting me, calling me. I'm denying calls to share this with you, but you better watch this replay over and over again. Lord, I hope it's saved to my camera roll. But guys, this is so much bigger than what we see. So I've been going to town, huh? Anyway, love y'all. Hey, Rebecca. I don't even know what y'all were saying with y'all comments. I got to watch the replay. I needed this. Thanks for confirmation. Yep. Hey, Marvin. I ain't see none of y'all conversation. I was so into it. Yes, on fire. I don't care how I look. Scars on my face, no makeup, eyebrows thin, hair jacked up, but I don't care. Because you got to get what God has called me to share with you in this season. All right? So anyway, I'm gonna go because I got stuff I got to do. I'm in your town next week. What's my town, Marvin? Which one? Because I'm in Atlanta right now. I might still be in Atlanta next week. Hey, you are awesome. Love you much. I love you back. You are so anointed. Hey, Chinoa. In your town, TLC. And in Atlanta, in Austin, fire. Who's that? Hey, Glamour. Preaching. Hey, Skylar. I need to connect with you. Reach out to me, Instagram, Nicole S. Cooper, or email. If y'all want to reach out to me, my email is NicoleSCooper@gmail.com. Send me your number and I'll call you. I need help on marketing myself. I don't do marketing coaching anymore. I'm sorry. You tell me what kind of help you need, but I don't do coaching on that anymore. Not right now. In this season, I'm teaching people how to build their total life changes business. If you want to get access to showing you how to market, partner up with me in TLC and I'll show you how. Thank God for this app. Yes, Periscope is a gift if you use it properly. All right, I gotta go. I got things to do, places to go, people to see, and people to pick up from the plane. So love y'all. Stay tuned. Y'all know me and my rants. I will keep it going. And we will talk later. Bye. Marvin, I'll call you because I won't be in Austin next week. I'm sorry. I'll be in Memphis, in Jackson, Mississippi. So we'll talk. All right, y'all. Have a good day. And give me some hearts. Heart. We need to hit $1 million. Y'all see this thyroid thing I have on my neck? But I don't receive that. You see this little thing? We're working on that. All right, y'all. Got to go. But give me some hearts. Heart. Watch the replay. Give me some hearts. And we'll talk later. All right, I'm out. Bye.